Hey, Tony Gassins here, popping in for kicking off our September videos. And now, if you are in the 21-day boot camp, those start at 7 p.m. Eastern. The videos, they'll go live 7 p.m. Eastern every day for 21 days. And these are teaching videos. And then on the 21st day, we're going to have a live Q&A. Now, so that is on TonyGassinsAcademy.com. That's a different higher ticket course because we're doing a smaller group for our Q&A. So I ain't want to have, 1,000 people on the Q&A so that we got time to really answer everybody's questions on there. But wanting to jump on here and share this here with you because this is something that I'm studying every day and looking into love and relationships all the time. And in the past, you've heard me speak of the 3-month rule from my book in 2007. And then in 2009, Steve Harvey's book came out with the 90-day rule. And so again, 3 months. So that became a very, when his book came out, him being a celebrity, that became a very popular thing, the 90-day rule, the 90-day rule. And there's different variations of it. But originally, what I meant by the 3-month rule is that a man won't wait more than 3 months to have sex with a woman that he likes. And that was from the mind of a 22-year-old man, which I was, who never had to wait more than 3 dates to sleep with a woman. And so I created the 3-month rule, saying that if a man likes you, he will wait up until 3 months. And this was, again, 2 years before any mention of a 90-day rule. Now, where I went wrong was I was 22 years old and I was living in fornication. I was a backslidden Christian at 22 years old, and I was not married. I was dating my wife, and we both were living in sin and going along with the culture, with the world, instead of doing it God's way. And then also, I just had never met a woman that made me wait, in the sense other than my wife, and that's why I married her, is because she made me wait longer than any other woman that I had met. And she made me do things on her timeline instead of my timeline. And I believe so many women crack under the pressure, including my wife. She was, at that time when I met her, she was 19. And rightfully so. A woman wants to be married. A woman wants to start a family. And it's a lot of pressure. As men, we put a lot of pressure on women because we come in and we like, hey, this is what I want, that's what I need, hey, And the woman is like, man, I don't even know this dude like that. I'm not trying to do that. But if I don't do it, he's going to leave. What man is going to wait? What man is going to wait on sex when there's so many other women that's willing to have sex? Who's going to wait? I'm going to just be single the rest of my life if I keep making these men wait. And that's what I hear from 99% of women. And I remember touring the world, and I took my tour to 3 different continents, 2 other continents, and I held these love and relationship events in Africa, in Europe, and in America. And I would ask the men, I would bring all the men up to the stage, to the front, and the men would always be about 10% of the room. So if it was 300 people, 30 of them was men. And those men, 99% of them will be brought by their woman. And it may be 1 or 2 guys that is there alone. And I would bring them up and I would ask them a series of questions. And one of the questions I would ask them is, if you meet a woman and you feel she is your wife, will you wait until marriage for sex? And if she wanted to wait. And 90% of the men would say yes. The 10% that say no, you could just tell they fell off the tomato truck, or they were just like remedial, or just like a hood booger. Like, it wasn't really respectable men that would say no. And the ones who also, or if they were a respectable man, they would say no because they were there with their woman and they're already having sex. And if they can stand up to me and tell me no, they would not wait, then they can go home and stand on that and say, you seen me in front of the whole room say I would not wait. But they still were lying, because every man will wait until marriage if he feels the woman is his wife. That's just the point. Listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you. I need you to understand something. Sex does not feel better than scoring a touchdown, watching a touchdown. Sex does not feel better than watching sports. Sex does not feel better than making money. Like, sex is not the end all be all to men. Men may make it seem that way because that's the end all be all to a man with a woman. Because a man can't score a touchdown with a woman. A man can't watch a woman play a sport to a level that's going to turn him on or excite him, other than if you like Serena Williams or something like that and you the best at what you do. But a man watching a woman play sports is not going to do anything for him, because he doesn't feel she is better than the men who play that same sport. So there's nothing more exciting to a man with a woman than having sex. So that's why to women it seems like sex is the end all be all, but it is not. And so women get deceived every day and get duped every day out of their draws. And that is why most relationships don't last past 90 days, is because you have sex too soon. And because you're having sex too soon, you're having sex within those 90 days, you give a man a gold medal for a race he has not ran. You give him the prize and he has not crossed the finish line. The most prized possession that a woman holds to a man who does not fully know her and love her is what's between her legs. When a man knows a woman and he loves a woman, then the most prized possession that that woman holds is her mind. Like, who she is, her mind, her spirit, her heart. It's all the same thing. It all comes from the mind. But if a man does not fully know you, and he's not in love with you, then the number one thing he wants is what's between your legs. And so if a woman gives a man what's between her legs, or she gives him something sexual, then he's already done, like mission accomplished. And no man who is a respectable man, and understand that respectable man does not mean perfect man. Respectable man does not mean like devout, perfect Christian. Respectable man meaning he has respect for himself. Like, he has confidence. He thinks he is somebody. No respectable man wants a woman who will give him oral sex or physical sex inside of 90 days. Now, many men have settled for that woman because that woman made it to month 2, and every other woman he met didn't make it past month 1. And so women are innately submissive, whether a woman wants to admit it or not. Women are innately submissive, and women innately want to please a man and want to give a man what he wants, what he needs, even the toughest, strongest of women are soft for a man. And because of that, a woman is, she's overcompensating and she's overthinking, and she's like, oh, he probably wants this, he probably wants that, he probably expects this, he probably expects that. And the man is like, he's going through the motions, like he understands. He's not even letting his heart be involved in the relationship, because he's like, he's looking at it like, man, I'm he's looking at it like, man, here I am. I'm ready to go the distance. Like, I'm in a marathon. She's in a sprint in her mind. So she could change her Facebook status. So she could stunt on her girls. So she could be engaged, be married. She in a sprint. I'm in a marathon. So the man is not even thinking about sex like that. And what a woman who's being tried by sex, it's only a test. The man just trying to see, how many men have you let hit? How many men have you slept with in the first week? How many men have you slept with in the first month? And that's just a process of elimination. That's all the man trying to do. Like, because you got to remember, this man got porn. He got OnlyFans. He got a hand. Like, he could jack off. He jacking off every day. He don't need a nut from a woman. He could get his own nut. He got women that they feel worthless. They feel like $2 street corner HOs that he can go to and he could sleep with. Like, he doesn't need you to open your legs. Like, he could go get it from anywhere in the world. So that's just him testing you. And that just come with the game. And you can't get mad about that. You got to scratch your booty and get glad. And you got to wake up and realize that it's a game out here, and it's being played, and it's being played at a high level. And you can't get in your feelings about that. You just got to learn the game, and you got to protect yourself, and you got to know how to move. And so, and if a man leave you because you were unwilling to give him your body before you felt ready, before you felt comfortable, and you felt like you had enough invested and you know him well enough to give him your body, if he leaves you for that, then that's not your husband. Who left you was a man who didn't really like you, or a man who is down low. He actually gay, and he just deal with women for the sake of dealing with women. And that man is even less likely to leave you, because he want him a man anyway. So he dealing with different little situations. So they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But the man who does not like you, he might not like your whatever it is about you, and that's why he leave, because all he wanted to do was just knock you off, make you a notch in the belt, make you another, you a taste of the rainbow. That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted. Well bound, thank you, ma'am. And then if you fall for it, boom, he got you. So now, and this is what a thing that a lot of women don't understand, is that a lot of women don't understand that men have data. So if you are not being authentic and true to who you are, if a woman is playing a role, she's going to play herself. What I mean by that is, there's a lot of insecure, unconfident women who have been promiscuous and who have given their body to a man. And then they will come and they will hear me talk, and then they will start trying to play a role like a classy, self-respecting woman without actually becoming a classy and self-respecting woman. And then they will take and not have sex with a man, but will give a man oral sex, and not realize that a man sees a woman giving oral sex more dirty than a woman having actual intercourse. And that's because the woman is playing a role, and she didn't even know how men view that. So the dirtier a woman is, the more likely a man is to let her give him oral than he is to actually have intercourse with her. Like, if a man feels a woman is dirty or like a HO, he won't lie down. He won't get on top of her and have intercourse. He will allow her to give him oral. And there's women who call themselves a virgin, but they do oral. And they don't realize that in the eyes and the mind of a man, that is more filthy and debaucherous and degrading than having actual sex. And that's because those women are trying to play a part and look away and look a role, not realizing that you can't do the other one if you're not doing the thing. And so if a woman who is committed to abstinence, chastity, or whatever you call it, she ain't doing nothing sexual. Like, she not letting you do nothing. Like, you can kiss her on the forehead, kiss her on the nose, kiss her on the lip, a little peck. You can hold her hand. You can wrap your arm around her shoulder, walk with her into the movie. You could go to the movie. You ain't touching no bare skin but her hand, rubbing down her arm. Your hand ain't going in no pants. You not doing nothing sexual. A woman who really about that life, you're not doing nothing sexual. And so this is what a lot of women don't understand, is you can't play a role with a man because a man has data. He has met a woman who he tried to kiss on the first date, and she turned her head and would not let his lips touch her lips on the first date. So when you let a man kiss you on the first date, now you go into the data. He's like, oh, it was this other woman, this other woman, they ain't let me kiss them on the first date. Why this woman let me kiss them on the first date? Oh, what does that say about her? It says that she is insecure or ignorant because she doesn't know me, and she's willing to catch herpes on the first date. She's willing to catch mono on the first date. Like, she don't even know me, and she willing to let me put my lips that just could have came off another woman's vagina onto her lips. And she ain't even got the opportunity to know me yet. That's what it says to that man. And so a lot of women don't realize is that it's a game, and you got to be true to you. You got to know who you are as a woman. And the reason why these relationships be failing, it literally because it be men testing women. The woman be wanting love. The woman be wanting marriage. The woman be wanting something genuine, and the man be coming to play a game. He might be looking for a wife, so to speak, so he says, but he gonna play games to find his wife. And that's a very unfair thing, but life is unfair. And that's why I say, don't get mad, scratch your booty and get glad. What my daddy used to tell me when I was growing up, don't get mad, scratch your booty and get glad, because we don't get to pick the rules. You got to learn the rules, and then you got to learn how to play by the rules, but you don't get to pick the rules. The rule gonna be the rule. Like, and what they say, all is fair in love and war. And so that's what you have to realize and understand, that you're being tested every single day. And on my one-on-one sessions, when I'm talking to people and they tell me about their situation, they be like, oh, well, Tony, that ain't what you said online. You said this. I say, see, that's where you misapplying something, because your situation is totally different. You talking about a specific situation. That was general information that you got on there. So that's also why you've been losing, because you ain't taking the time to truly invest in yourself and truly learn about your situation. Like, that right there, that's to the masses. That's just general safety. But when you got a unique situation, you got to understand your unique situation. If you got a forehead like Rihanna, then your life is going to be different if you can't sing. Word. If you can't sing and you have that forehead, you need to learn how to move with that forehead. If your dad has a large nose and you have his nose, your life experience is going to be different in how a man treats you if you have your father's large nose. So you need to learn how to move with that nose. If you have a different body type, that's not standard, that's not general, you need to learn how to move with your body type. If you are taller than normal, if you are shorter than normal, if you are lighter than normal, if you are darker than normal, if you are from a foreign country and you living in a different country, you have to learn how the rules apply to you. The rules going to be different. And so everything, you can't apply generalities to your situation if you got a unique makeup, a unique situation. And so you have to realize and understand that people treat you how they see you. Now, on the flip side of this, The only time really when relationships don't make it past 90 days when it's on the man is when a woman, she has her three B's. And when I say three B's, she may just have one B, but she's strong about that B. And it could be anything. Like, so let's say it's the body. So if she got the body and she meet a man and she give him a chance, but then after the third date or whatever, she just can't get past his stomach. Like his stomach is just really, and then they going out to eat and he eating enough for 2, 3 people. So now that stomach is explained. So she cut it off. She can't do it. His mouth too filthy. Like he cussing too much. He just too ignorant, too immature, and she cut it off. So women will cut it off, but women actually end up cutting it off less than men will cut it off. A lot of times women will give a man the benefit of the doubt and go through it because she want to be married. She want to be in a relationship. So she'll overlook a lot of stuff, and that is a mistake. To be honest with you, more relationships should end in the first 90 days because you should come in knowing your deal breakers. And then not only should you know your deal breakers, you need to know the precursors to your deal breakers, meaning, or the antecedent behavior to your deal breaker. So you got to understand your deal breaker is the macro, you got to understand the micro. And you got to be able to say, okay, this behavior that he is exhibiting on this date or on the phone or in person or with this family member or with this friend, that behavior will lead to this behavior, which is one of my deal breakers. So I need to nip this in the bud. I need to call that out, talk to him about that, see if this is an issue, see if this is going to be something that's going to be repeated, or see if this was a fluke and he can change that behavior, grow, and move forward in his life. If he can't change that behavior and grow and move forward in his life, then I need to cut this here situation off. I need to let him know I need to cut it off. And so more relationships should end within the first 90 days by knowing your deal breakers, knowing your standards versus your preferences, and being able to cut things off when it doesn't align with your standards. And a lot of times we go past 90 days, we get to 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 15 months, 18 months, 21 months, when we shouldn't have got that far. Shouldn't have got that far. And that's why a lot of people just, they end up breaking up after a couple years, 2, 3 years. The relationship was over in the first 2 months. In the first 2 months, you can tell if you can last with this person. You're going to be able to tell it. You're gonna have a strong feeling. Of course, not every little thing gonna come out, but it'll be seeds to it. It'll be seeds to them behaviors, and you got to pay attention. Now, everybody don't have the gift. Everybody don't understand relationships. Everybody not gonna be there. Everybody not gonna be on that level. You're not gonna understand every little thing and all of that. I get that. I understand that. But that's why people like me exist. And that's what people don't understand is you got to be willing, you got to be open to get the knowledge and get the insight from people who have a deeper level of understanding. That's another reason that situations go wrong, is because we go through our whole life and not once in school do we take a class called Love 101 or Relationships 101, because the schoolhouse don't feel qualified to teach about that. They'll teach life skills. You could take a life skills class now. You might take a sexual education class, but you're not going to take relationships 101, love 101. And so you got a degree or you got a diploma from high school or you got a college degree, but know nothing about love. And then you get into a relationship and you don't know what you're doing. You know how to work your way past a test on a subject that don't really apply to your life, but then you can't pass the test in love and relationship because you ain't never took a class. And because you allow the devil to use people to tell you that you are stupid or desperate for listening to relationship coaches online, you will block us out and what we talking about, what we saying, and go it alone, and then end up tore up from the floor up, broke, busted, and disgusted. And so you gotta start to internalize this insight, this wisdom. So this month, my goal is to release a video every day. Every time I say that, the devil get in the way. But My goal is to release a video every day, and we focusing on love and relationships. Now, when stuff come out for the motivation, business, whatever, then that might go to the Blessed Tribe, Blessed Business Tribe, things like that, be put in a course. But for the most part, I'm rededicating my life to the marriage movement and helping people prepare. That's what this 21-day boot camp is about. That's why I made it a high ticket offer, because I want to be people who also their finances are in order, because you should not be dating if you don't have your finances in order. That you shouldn't be getting out there. So that's why it costs more than my normal courses, and it's 21 days, and it's gonna be a deep dive, and then you couple that with what I'm doing on YouTube, put it all together, and you're gonna be able to really go to another level. But I'm very committed to this here marriage movement, and we gotta be able. And I want you to understand something. It's nothing wrong with a relationship, a new situation, which could be called a situationship, not lasting 90 days. Nothing wrong with it. To be honest with you, you wanted to end in 1 week, but you wanted to end in 1 week for the right reasons. And that's because you recognize this person is going to exhibit your deal breakers or one of your deal breakers, and you cut it off. But the reason why most relationships are ending in 90 days is because people are jumping into the bed too soon. And what a lot of people don't understand is the brain is the largest sexual organ. So chemistry comes from love and affection. When you don't have love and affection, and this what people don't realize and understand. When you don't have love and affection, it's hard to have sexual chemistry with somebody that's a stranger to you, somebody that you would not die for, somebody that you're not in love with. So any sexual chemistry that you have, it will come from utilization. Both of y'all being used up. Both of y'all being HOs. So the man knows all the tricks in his stroke. The woman knows all the tricks in her throwback. And so them two come together and they make music in the bed, because both of them is HOs. And then they call that sexual chemistry, and they say these are grounds for us to stay together and to work on this relationship because we're good in bed. And that is the dumbest thing in the world. That's one of the dumbest and biggest mistakes that you can make. And I've coached people who, at a time where they should be restarting like their relationship and building as friends and just talking and building with each other, they'll be like, oh, I can't do that because our chemistry comes from sex. Like, we can only make up sexually because that's where our chemistry is. And that's why also a lot of relationships fail. And so you got to think about it. How are you going to feel if you get into bed with somebody that you're not in love with? Other than, and they're not a HO. So they not a pro at sex. So if they not a pro at sex and you get into bed with them, within the first 3 months, you're going to think they whack in the bed because you don't have no feelings. But see, when your mind is already there, when your mind at the finish line because you in love, now they don't have to do a whole lot for you to have a good experience, a good time, because you're in love with this person. But when you with a complete stranger, they starting behind the finish line, and just their performance and their skills in the bed is what's going to prove themselves to you. And that right there is whole culture. And that's a trick of the devil. And that's why so many people say, oh, I need a test drive before I buy and all of this. And that's because we have a society of a lot of HOs. A lot of people is just nasty and don't want to grow and don't want to change. And that's what be happening. So for me, when I was out there, I wasn't judging what a woman did in the bed because I didn't know what she was supposed to be doing in the bed. So I wasn't judging the movement in her hips or whatever it was or none of that. Like, I was judging, is she going to let me get her in the bed? And if she'll let me get her in the bed, then I just said, oh, she's not a wife because she don't love herself. She don't know herself. So I take what she giving, but she should have known not to give it. She should have had higher standard for herself. And I ain't had no standard for myself, but I was willing to lower my standards or not have standards just to see if she ain't have standards. And that's the stupidity of the game. Don't make sense, but a man will put his body on the line to see if a woman willing to put her body on the line, and then a man will judge a woman for doing the same thing he did. That's because the one person is the tester, and the other person is the testee. And so the testee is the one who passes or fails the test. The person who issued the test, they not passing or failing it. It's who taking the test. So if the man testing the woman, or if the woman testing the man, even though they doing the same thing, one person getting judged for what they do. And that's the name of the game. It is unfair. Life is unfair. Don't get mad. Scratch your booty and get glad. Hey, all the links in the description. The all access membership, I left it the same. I think $14.97 on TonyGassonAcademy.com for Labor Day. So it'll be there this week. Make sure you grab your spot, because I'm going to be adding more and more courses to it. Right now, I think it's nearly 100 courses, over 70 courses in there. And it's just one monthly fee, all access membership. So that way you growing and going to the next level. And then eventually when that membership gets to where it needs to be, that's where all of my specials will be going to the members of the academy. Because the academy is outside of YouTube. That's me. Just I own that. Like when you're a member on YouTube, God bless you, love you, appreciate you. YouTube take 30% of it. And so Tony Gasson's Academy, that's 100% me. Like nobody get a percentage of that. So that's where I really have to put all my time, energy, and effort. So with the all access membership, that's where I'll be releasing my discounted one-on-one sessions. That's where I'll be casting for the people that I'm going to collaborate and work with. And that's where I will be also announcing my retreats and my conferences, any live meetups or in-person meetups. Everything will be announced to the all access membership first. And then I will announce to Patreon and what's the other one? Blessed Tribe, Blessed Business Tribe. But the all access membership on TonyGassonAcademy.com is taking precedent. And that's what I'm going to be building for the rest of my life. And I want it to be the #1 membership in the entire world. A group of, you don't have to be a Christian, but it's going to be Christian based because I'm a Christian. And the #1 in the world that is pure, that is positive, and that everything could be built from there. The matchmaking agency, when it's time to launch that, I'm going to start with the all access membership. So men, you want to grow, you want to go to the next level, stop complaining about women and talking about, if I don't, it's business courses in there, it's everything is in there. Invest in yourself too, and show women that you're willing to invest in yourself. Show women that you're willing to have mentorship and you're willing to learn and to grow, instead of just getting what's free and then claiming to be on the same level as the women, but you won't invest in yourself the way they invest in themselves. So that way when we do the matchmaking, we got good men and we got good women in the all access membership. And coming from somebody who actually married, who actually run businesses, who actually have a brand. And that's the difference with a lot of memberships, is a lot of time people don't do what they teaching. And I still got a lot of growth. So as I learn, I will be sharing. As you learn, you should teach. So, hey, if you have not joined the all access membership, and even if that means canceling your Blessed Tribe membership, if you can't afford it, then I'm okay with that. You know, I'd rather you not just be in the Blessed Tribe on YouTube to have a little sign by your name and get the comment, but to be able to have access to 70 plus courses that could take your life to the next level if you actually go through the courses. So y'all gonna get tired of hearing me talking about the membership, but that's my new life's passion and life's mission, because I want to have something to where we not just talking about it, but we being about it. And we going to the next level. So we got the retreat coming up in Costa Rica in October. I was just trying to do 10 people. I don't like being around a lot of people. I like small groups. And so that sold out relatively quickly. I'm not sure if they got more spots available or if they could add spots. I don't think they can. But we got the retreat coming up. And then we have also South Africa. So I'm going to be speaking in South Africa. And the venue doesn't hold a whole lot of people. I think it hold up to 1,000. So if you're in South Africa, you watching this video, you on the sound of my voice, make sure you click the link in the description, grab your ticket, grab a friend a ticket, bring your friend group, and I'm looking forward to seeing you, meeting you there. Any tips you got, the best places to eat and stuff like that over there in Johannesburg, let me know. And if you were over there in Johannesburg and you want to add something to it, like a private dinner with you and your group or what have you, we not doing what W.A.R doing, but let me know other things that may be happening while I'm over there. I'll probably spend about 2 weeks over there. Wish I could take my family, but I can't because my son got school. My youngest son got school, and my wife, she don't put nothing before the family, before the household. So even though I know she would love to be over there too, but we can't do that to our son and mess him up in school, mess him up in his soccer on his team because he is a starter. And so we got to let him still have his life and dreams and everything he got going on. I can't up in that for what daddy got to do. But hey, God bless y'all. I'm going to be popping in, Lord willing, every day. And sometimes twice a day, just because with my oldest son going, I now have more free time in the afternoon. And then also my one-on-one sessions are limited to certain groups of people. So I don't have to do a lot of that. So when I get the opportunity, I'll be popping on here. God bless you. Keep your head up. All the important links in the description. We'll talk soon.